welcome to episode 126 of Anime and Us. I'm TJ.
And I'm Shawn.
And this is the review show that reviews anime from A to Z. Sort of. Got it in one.
There we go. Yeah, one. We'll go with that. Wasn't your worst, though. We got Chaika Chaika the Coffin Princess for Category C. It is a light novel series written by Ichiro Sakaki and illustrated by Naman Iku ATK. I don't even know how you would pronounce ATK. Maybe it's shortening? Abbreviation beats me.
Maybe.
It has 3 different manga series, which is weird. Series makes me feel like 3 different people made their own manga based off the light novels. Might not be the case, but that's what it sounds like. And the first season aired April of the anime aired in 2014, and the second season also aired in 2014, which is weird. Usually you wait a year. Normally you don't have both your seasons airing in the same year and back to back like that. It ended in June, the first season, and the second season started up in October. But whatever. Before we get into it, don't watch it. It's not good. In my opinion, absolutely terrible. Apparently, TJ didn't hate it that much.
As it went on, I guess I got used to the mannerisms, and it's not the worst anime we've ever watched.
No, it's not. But it's boring. On top of like the blaringly bad stuff that we'll talk about a lot, it's very boring. Like, nothing's interesting. I don't care about anything.
Well, I found some of the mystery stuff behind it kind of intriguing, like what's going on and stuff in the background. But that's, as far as the plot in the foreground is all bad. Mm-hmm. But, like, the background stuff and the world building, it wasn't terrible. Like, you kind of want to know why there's multiple
Chaikas,
yeah, and what's going on with it, and what's the deal, why is she collecting body parts,
yeah,
and stuff like
that.
Like,
I get that. But to me, wondering those things so early on is bad writing. Because you just throw these characters at me, and we'll get into that a little bit, but like they start partying up for no reason. There's no real reason why they want to work together, but they are. Well, and this is our objective. We're going to go do this.
She hires them.
She hired them for the first episode, which is fine, but she doesn't have that much money, and they're just going along with her for everything else.
She pays for everything.
She's got pocket change.
Apparently, she keeps paying for everything. They mention it throughout the entire show.
I didn't see a lot of money.
You didn't see a lot of money, but I think they're...
Even so, you're talking about taking on governments for money? Like, didn't know you were a fucking terrorist. Like, what's going on here? Like, I need motivation. You know what I mean? A nice boy that's willing to nearly starve himself to death and forage in the forest because he doesn't want to either A, work for the military, or B, already be a terrorist doing weird shit, or, any other job in the world. He'll do that, but the second a little bit of money comes into play, I'll be a terrorist. I'll go do bad things.
Well, no, there's a saboteur. That's his job.
What the f*** does that even mean?
It's almost like a mercenary from the army.
Yeah, I get that, but like, we'd have to be talking real money, and there's a difference between being a legal mercenary, where you're allowed to do those things, and being an illegal mercenary and, taking on government officials and stuff like that. There's a huge difference between those two things. One's breaking the law and one's just making money.
But you're failing to understand they love each other.
Well, not in the beginning. Maybe later on that could be a good reason to continue, but not to start being that. All I'm saying is I didn't like the motivations for it. Although, yes, I did eventually want to know why are we searching down these body parts. Mm-hmm. You could have set it all up a million times better.
Oh yeah, this show is not good by any means of it. I'm just saying it's not the worst one we've come across. That's all I was getting.
Not the absolute worst.
No, I actually, after like the first 5 episodes, I found it watchable. But you have to get used to what's her name, Chaika. To get used to her talking first before that's even possible. So,
pause. We will be right back. Sorry about that, guys. I had to take a small break to talk to you about something at the end of this podcast. But we're good. Where were we? I think we forgot.
We were talking about Chaika's speech patterns.
Oh, her speech patterns. Hey.
She talks like a caveman.
Like, let's say TJ is angry about something and he's arguing with someone and Chaika's there next to him. She'll go, he angry.
Yeah.
And that's how she talks. Except in a cutesy little girl voice. Mm-hmm. And it's unbearably dumb. And unbearably bad, and not all the Chaikas talk like that.
And unnecessary. It's completely unnecessary.
There's no reason for it.
It's stupid. But, after, 5-6 episodes of it, you just kind of push it out of your head.
Yeah, I mean, it sort of started being like background noise at a certain point.
Yeah.
So. Like, you're taking her one little word lines as like, oh, alright, that's where the conversation's going. And that's it.
Yep.
But it's not good. Anyway, we should probably do premise. We're a few minutes in.
Go ahead.
There's a boy, man, I guess, late teens.
Well, this is the most confusing part of the show to me. He is a 16-year-old, I think you'd said, but we'll just for the argument's sake, 20-year-old. Let's just say 20 for argument's sake.
Yeah, I mean, he's been in the military. He trained for the military, got into the military, fought, and then left. And
retired from the military.
Yeah, so I mean, how old are you? 16's a little...
Yeah, a little young for it, but I think they said 16. He looks 16.
Yeah.
But even at 20, it's a little ridiculous, his age.
Yeah, I guess, back in the day, you'd be fighting as soon as you were man enough to hold a sword, right? But that's just dumb.
I'm just tired of the anime tropes, I think.
Yeah, it's always teens. It's coming-of-age stories, essentially. That's what it always is. Even when it's not really a coming-of-age story, because they made the character emotionally stable and strong. Like, he looks like a 20-year-old. Mm-hmm. It still is, because they made him 16.
Right. Exactly. I mean, his characterization isn't bad. He's got some depth to him, unlike most.
Yeah, he has a little. They get into his backstory a couple more episodes later. I can't remember which one. But anyway, so he's walking through the woods, essentially, outside of a town, foraging. And that's it. That's him. That's what he does, because he doesn't want to be in the military anymore.
No,
stupid.
That's not why.
No one will hire him or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. There's no jobs for him anymore. The war's over. One's hiring.
Jobs. Go be a baker, you piece of shit.
Well,
plenty of people retire.
If you're a mercenary, retired mercenary at 16, which means you're a soldier at 12,
but you
have no other job skills.
No, but you're primed to start apprenticeships. Sure, it should have been started earlier, but it's not like you're 35 wanting to be a carpenter.
But he was raised from the age of 0.
He can do anything. He's young enough to do anything, and he chooses to forage. He's sorry to say that with so much disdain, but it is. Anyway, he's in the forest foraging, and Chaika appears right next to him. She's got a giant coffin strapped to her back.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, wonder what she's doing. What happened right after that? I can't remember.
There was a giant bird or unicorn that attacked?
Oh, a unicorn. Yeah, it was like this weird evil unicorn that attacked.
Yeah.
And they had to fight it together. Or they had to run away, and then it chased them, and then they fought it together and killed it.
So, well, he's a saboteur, and he uses, knives. So he's more like a rogue.
Yeah.
Yeah, whereas...
Very short swords, but really big daggers. Yeah. Somewhere in there.
And Chaika is your mage in this, essentially. Mm-hmm. Except she has a sniper rifle for a wand. You
wouldn't have taken her as a mage in the first episode. She just... Because in her coffin is a sniper rifle that's been taken apart. She puts it together, and she uses it as a gun. She feeds bullets into it, and when she shoots it, magic pops out of it. And I think it just, did some damage to the unicorn and kind of held it still for a bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but apparently sniper rifles are wands.
Yeah, so she can do other things with it. She can do other spells.
Yeah, so it's a weird mixture of magic and technology.
Mm-hmm. Oh, virus threat protection. Sorry about that, guys.
But yeah, and I don't remember his name. The guy
Toru.
Toru.
Toru. Toru. I know that because for every episode I watch, I also read the description. I don't do that for every anime we watch, but the really boring ones I have to. So I remember his name. I remember Chaika. I remember the dragoon's name, Frederica.
Yeah.
I don't remember his sister's name. His ancestral sister.
Yeah, and that's another thing in this. There's the ancestral love thing between the sister.
That's completely one-sided from his sister to the brother, which is so creepy. It's creepy if it's the other way too, but it's just ugh, it makes me feel dirty.
But the female to the male is usually the common one.
Yeah, because the boy's unsuspecting. Is it it's obviously a trope that we've dealt with the anime so far before, but it's for it to be a trope, it has to be a subconscious symptom, a subconscious fetish of Asian people in Japan.
Well, Japan,
I'm not saying it is. Anime's telling me it is because there are so many animes where the sisters or the stepsisters or the mothers take advantage of the boys.
And that's the excuse. They're not technically related by blood.
Yeah.
But whatever. It's ancestral. Then there's also the lolly aspect of the whole thing. As usual.
Chaika's 12 or 13.
Well,
she's very young.
We don't know.
I think they said 13. I think they said she's 13 years old. I might be wrong, but I think they said her age.
I don't know, but the way they play up all the Chaikas, some of them could be 400.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Maybe her memories are only 13 years old, because they go into memory talk a bit later.
So who knows? But she's got the body of a 13-year-old.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And then that trope is getting super, super grating on the nerve.
Yes, it is. Sorry.
So, it's...
But, okay, so they meet up, and then they go... His sister finds them, or they find his sister, I can't remember.
I don't remember.
And they team up, and she's constantly trying to sleep with him, and trying to keep him from being alone with other women.
The sister.
Because she'll pop in and be like, huh, that was close. And he's like, huh, what do you mean that was close? So stupid. It's so stupid. And that happens over and over again.
Well, that's the problem. It's the comedy parts of this and the romantic parts of most of these bad anime are always the worst part.
Yeah, it's god awful.
Why, if they would just forget that shit and
it wouldn't be that bad. It would only be bad in the sense that the dialogue for Chaika and the story is kind of trash.
Story's kind of trash. Exactly. I mean,
but the rest of it wouldn't be that bad if it wasn't for all the other tropes we're coming into.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just a common thing for I don't know. I guess that sells over in Japan because my god, it's in everything because it ruins every anime, every single one.
Yeah, I've never seen it done well. I've never enjoyed it.
No.
So
this is turning into a rage against anime in general.
They essentially join up. Where then the three of them join up together. She hires them as saboteurs to do missions for her, and they ask, "What missions?" He's like, "I have to go steal these body parts
to mourn her dead father, who is apparently an evil emperor."
Yeah, and each body part has like intense magic to it, so like you could use it for magic if you know what you're doing.
Like it like raises airships and shit.
Yeah, you can use it as a magical power source, I guess. Before we go any farther, the saboteurs have a secret power. They can go Super Saiyan Red.
That doesn't make any sense. They barely use it, too.
Yeah. And it's a plot device for them to seem stronger, so they don't actually have to make it a shonen where they work for their strength and get stronger as they go on.
But at the same time, he's just as capable in his regular form as he is in that stupid...
Just as capable.
Yeah, so it doesn't make sense.
It's just a plot device.
It's just so they can say a 2-sentence line to change transformation. Sailor Moon. Yeah, it's a Sailor Moon transformation. Exactly.
He says his lines, which is it's more than 2, but he says his lines, and then he glows red, and he's stronger and faster, and his hair's red.
And his sister can do it too, but she only does it like one time.
She does it once or twice, but yeah.
It's a pointless addition to it that made no sense for a character who can easily handle himself. I think it was
just so they could eat up time.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of.
And to make it slightly, because like you got to think in a trailer, him saying that and going red would seem cool to a teenager.
Yeah, I guess maybe they just wanted to make
chop that up to make it look cool.
Maybe they wanted the Super Saiyan thing, even though it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, not at all. Well, so they agree. They go on missions trying to get body parts and stuff, and then there's an episode where there's people. There's like. I forget their names, but there's like government people trying to stop them.
I want to say Chevrolet's.
I don't know.
Something like that. So they each got different titles and ranks.
Well, then this one episode comes up where they start talking about the 4 heroes eight heroes that did something. I can't remember what.
They killed the Emperor.
The Emperor, was it the Emperor?
The evil Emperor that Chaika.
Well, the Dragoon, the one hero that has a Dragoon is nearby.
Well, the one hero is a Dragoon, and she has I guess they call it a Dragoon. But
no. The hero, there's a hero and a Dragoon. The Dragoon tells them that the hero died.
Yeah, I know, but the lady hero is also called a Dragoon. That's
also like a class, right? Like you're a Dragoon, so it's dumb, but whatever.
But it's a dragon.
It's alright. It's a dragon, but it's like a smaller dragon. I was actually going to ask you what the difference between a Dragoon and a dragon is.
Well, usually a Dragoon is a class. It's usually the ones with spears and jumping and stuff.
On the dragons sometimes, but sometimes they're running around. That's what I thought it was.
There's an RPG called Legend of Dragoon back in...
I remember playing the demo for it on the Xbox because I had the disc. I played that demo a lot.
But what it is they're essentially people who can ride and control dragons.
Okay.
But and a dragon is a dragon.
Yeah, it's so weird. But they're always smaller dragons. Like a Pegasus, but maybe bigger than a Pegasus. Yeah. You know, like, it's never like a full-on gigantic ancient red dragon.
Well, no, because they're usually intelligent and...
don't want to be controlled by a horse. Exactly. All right, so they start talking about this hero is nearby with her dragon, and they stumble upon her, and she saves them from an attack of something.
Wolves.
Wolves with electric eyes.
Yes.
It's just stupid.
And she lives in this beat-down mansion with pictures and statues of herself all over the place. And it turns out she's dead.
Yeah, and the Dragoon can shapeshift, apparently.
And it shapeshifts into a little girl, because of course she does.
And she can shapeshift to a cat. She can shapeshift back to the Dragoon. It's so dumb.
Yeah,
and then she joins up, because why not? Another party member.
Because the main character beat her, and now she wants to beat him in return, and it's stupid. At the end of the series, first season at very least, she's like, do you want to be my Dragoon? Essentially.
Yeah. You know, they just keep getting into hijinks and stupid things trying to steal the body parts. It's funny because they'll steal the body parts and they'll get them and then you don't see them anymore. Where are they?
They're in that coffin.
What's really dumb is that there's an episode later on where they ran out of magical energy to power their essentially horse and buggy without horses. Right. What's really f***ing dumb is they didn't use the magical power sources they had. They had like 5 arc reactors worth of power sources that they weren't using.
They're not power sources. They're for Morning.
Whatever. They can use it as a power source. We saw it. The one guy that they got it from was like creating a fog that made you relive his like nightmare of his wife or girlfriend sleeping with his best friend.
What?
There's an episode. You don't remember the fog episode?
A fog episode? I thought it just made you see the things that you really wanted.
No. You see what happened to him. So like Toru sees Chaika and she gets on the horse with the guy that's chasing him.
Yeah.
And she leaves because she's in love with him.
Oh,
that's not what he wants, obviously,
right? Yeah, that's right. You did. Okay.
I know this because I read the description.
No, you're right. But at first, it started off with them being together and stuff like that, and what?
And it moved.
And moved up, and that was just how it ended. It's stupid.
But that's I mean, I remember seeing it, but I wouldn't have known that the fog was specifically making anyone that goes into it relive this guy's like worst nightmare that happened. If I didn't read
guy's worst nightmare?
Yeah, so like the guy that was making the fog that had the leg.
Okay.
He was doing that. That was something that happened to him.
I didn't know that was something that happened to him.
Neither did I, unless you read the description.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I remember seeing the fog and seeing that happen to Toru and Chaika, but knowing that's what the fog was doing and why, I only knew from the description.
He did mention that happened to him, but I never put the pieces together.
It's stupid.
Yeah, it is dumb. Anyway, it ends on like a 3-episode cliffhanger.
This is something that happens with a lot with bad anime. You'll get 9 or 10 episodes of bullshit story that may or may not contribute to the overarching arc, over whatever arc. In this anime it did because they were stealing body parts. Mm-hmm. In some they don't. But then, like you just said, the 3-piece lead up to the cliffhanger.
Yeah.
So many animes do that, where like there's like 9 or 10 episodes where it doesn't really matter what you're watching. It's the last 3 episodes that actually matter. Yeah. It's so dumb. I see it all the time.
And I don't know. The last 3 episodes was just this. There was a whole side plot with the ruined nations.
Another Chaika being essentially a terrorist.
Right. And so there's this other nation that found a crashed down airship from the war and got it up and running. And they're killing the main alliance's messengers and stuff like that. Instead of getting up and running, and then they're kidnapping women.
Yeah, and torturing them.
Well, the one kid's torturing them, the guy behind it all.
Yeah, he's torturing, but they're using that torture and converting it into magical energy.
Right.
Because they're using... We didn't talk about this. When they were looking for magical energy for their horse and buggy thing, Chaika offered to use her memories. She can convert them into energy, magical energy, but then obviously her memories get reset. So... that tied into the last few episodes. They were torturing these little girls and then using their memories for magical source.
They made there was like 3 people. Another Chaika, because...
Of course.
She wants revenge.
There's a bunch of Chaikas for some reason.
Yeah. There's some kind of mage who can control minds. And then there's this lunatic psycho kid who just likes torturing people.
And there's no reasoning for it.
Apparently,
he just likes to watch people bleed. I want to cut you.
He's a stereotypical maniac kid. He killed his parents and his brother, who was the ruined body, and now he just likes to do it and start because they want to start a war, the next war.
2 things, and then I'm done. First, I was mildly surprised in the second to last episode when Frederica, the Dragoon,
she got impaled in the head.
And then eaten alive, or impaled in the head, not eaten alive. I thought she was eaten alive. But then in the second episode, you see your body, and she was impaled in the brain and dead. And then she pops out.
As a, chibi.
Like a chibi version.
Yeah.
Pops out of her stomach, rips her way out. Huh. Yeah, you guys don't know this, but due to a bad experience one time, I now make an outer shell to stay in, so if I die, I'll be fine. And it's just such a dumb reason. I was gonna give them credit right now if they didn't bring her back alive in the last episode, and they did bring her back alive, because, the whole show's bad, but like that surprised me.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty brutal when they came out of nowhere and stabbed her right in the head, and
then took her body away.
It was just this weird monster thing too, out of nowhere,
and it was done in a good way. It was surprising. You never see stuff like that where it's just like like you turn your head and someone dies.
I do want to give the show credit because it is gory, but not over the top.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's got blood and stuff in it,
but it's not over the top.
Yeah,
that was easily the most graphic scene.
Yeah. I mean, and of course, all the main characters have plot armor, though. So.
Of course. My last point is, I said I was going to make two, is the last fight was terrible. The big climactic fight of the main character fighting the main bad guy for this season was terrible. He's all red and he's tired and he's fighting and he falls down, and then the torturer kid, right? They go to stab each other at the same time, but Toru wins because he's aiming to kill. It gets him, I guess, in his liver or something, somewhere in his gut.
Yeah.
And the kid lost because he just wanted to cut him, so he cut his arm.
Yeah.
It's so dumb and bad. Like, that's the big climactic battle.
I mean, I guess the whole climatic thing was about the fortress crashing and going underwater.
And the battles leading up to the last one, but, like, you can't have a last battle that ends poorly. If you're gonna have a last battle, you do it well. You know what I mean? Like, any of the other battles before that very last one could have ended fine. You could have not had any more fighting after that.
I don't know. I didn't
but
take
that very last battle was terrible.
I didn't take that as a...
For me, it's a letdown.
A battle as more as, like, an execution.
Which is fine. Earlier in the show. I just don't feel like the last fight should be that. And it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't matter.
There's another season, and either OVAs or a movie, I can't remember, but there's more to it.
There's a second season.
Yeah. It's not good. It's below average.
I was going to give it a 4.
A 3 for me. I really hated it.
As the second half of this show went on, I got used to it, and I think we've seen way too much bad crap to really, really shit on it. You know what I mean?
I hated it. From the voice acting to the art, to the dialogue, to the story arc, all of it. I didn't like any of it.
What?
Different opinion.
Yeah, I mean... It just didn't grate on me as much as it grated on you, I guess.
I don't know why I hate this one more than I hate some other ones that, for the same reasons, I should hate them more.
Yeah, I know. It's weird.
Rubs you wrong, I guess. What are the other C's?
Alright, so there's Chivalry of a Foul Knight.
Didn't like that.
Claymore.
Claymore's probably number 1.
Yes, there's no doubt about it, because it's that one that I can't pronounce his name, but it ends in Ogress 2.
Yeah, Ogress 2.
And then Cromartie High School.
What's Ogress 2 about? Oh, it can't be first and it can't be last then. Claymore, obviously. Yeah. I guess we're going with, what's the one you named after that?
What? The Ogress 2 or Chivalry of a
Chivalry of a Failed Knight. I don't want it to be in second. I really don't, but for me it has to be. Then Chaika. Then I guess Ogress 2, because I can't really remember it all that well. Oh, it's the one with the guy that I liked. So I'm switching it. Or not. I don't know.
Is it the one with the guy that you like?
Maybe it's not. Cromartie High's f***ing last.
Is it the one with the bugs? The bugums or something?
Can't remember.
You're gonna... Whatever. It would leave much of an impression.
Apparently.
Well, mine's obviously Claymore too, but I actually like this more than I like Chivalry of a Foul Knight and the other ones, so I'm gonna go this, then Chivalry, then Ogress because I don't remember it.
Then Cromartie.
You think? Well, yeah, Cromartie. Yeah, I would never expose myself to that again if I.
That's actually something I wanted to say about this Chaika is that like it's not good, and I would never choose to watch it. No. Like I would watch one episode and I'd be done. And there's a lot of animes that we've watched like that.
Yeah,
they're just plain not good, and I would never want to watch it.
If we stopped after the first 2 episodes we watched together, I would have never watched this again.
Yeah, same. But because of this. All right, guys. Next episode is going to be Dota Dragon's Blood. We're not spinning because I'm using my pick that I got on C or Y or something. I can't remember. It was at the end of the list.
Late last spin.
I wanted to save it for like High School of the Dead or something like that. Maybe Grimgar Fantasy and Ash, but I just want something good. And I've seen Dota Dragon's Blood on Netflix. It's really good. It's a short show. It's 8 episodes, and it's fun. It's
I just enjoyable. Think you just like using your picks on D.
Do I do that a lot?
You did Death Note last time.
Oh, hey. That is what it is. All right, guys. See ya.
Bye.